Welcome back to my YouTube channel and to my rather empty basement. If you were watching last week, you will have seen me start work on an N-scale project in the workshop of Affordable Model Railroads. Let's head over there again now and see how much progress I can make this week. I've just arrived at the shop on Monday morning, week 2. It does not look as though anybody has been in over the weekend. Everything seems to be exactly as I left it. I'll just walk around the layout. And on Friday, if you recall, I got as far as here. I am going to continue with the other end of the yard and then continue on. Once I get to the Y, I'm going to have to go back to gluing down paper and roadbed because this hasn't been done yet. And when I get round to this corner, I'm going to be building bench work because it's not quite finished on the lower level. So I'm just going to turn the camera off and get to work. Well, as you can see, this end of the yard has now been completed. I haven't got the lead in yet because I still need to do more work prior to track laying in this area. I also got about half of the Y in, which is as much as I can do until I have the bench work in this area fixed, because there is an error here. It took the vast majority of the day. Just before finishing up, I put the riser in for the branch line, starting here and curving up behind that box over the new track, or the extra track, and all the way to here. With the other section being too high at the moment, there's not really a lot I can do as far as fixing that transition. It'll have to be done later. Well, welcome back. It is now Wednesday morning. I did not get the opportunity to make any video yesterday. I was here in the morning and there was other guys in the shop and they had the radio on, and there would probably have been copyrighted music in the background. And then in the afternoon I had to go to Nashville and I didn't get home till late. Anyway, most of what I did yesterday came under bench work. This section here with the turnout had been cut out and installed at this level by mistake, so I had to raise that up. And then I have the long falling grade down to the harbour. All the risers are in for there. That pink stripe down the middle, all the way down here under the paper. And this bit of bench work was not here. The top level was in. I had to cut that out to build this. At first the other guys wanted me to reach under there and fight with it, but I managed to convince them that it was a lot easier, a lot quicker and a lot better just to cut the top level out and then repair it later. All I've got to do is put a board under here and another piece there, and then screw the piece I cut out back down to it, and then just reinstall the screws I took out over this side. So now that I have corrected all the issues with the bench work over this side of the layout, the next thing to do is to get the paper glued down, start laying roadbed again. Well, I decided to change the order of attack slightly. I started by putting in the roadbed at the bottom of this hill, and then I've gone all the way up to the top, made some adjustments in that back corner, and then if I pan over here, by the time I have laid the track on this incline, then I can probably come back over to this side, get the track laid and finished and finally adjusted. on this bottom level before I put the top piece back. That will be the easiest way of doing things. Well, I now have track laid on this lower level. I've got 6 feet of flex track. I soldered this joint here on the straight and then curved it. And we can see it runs all the way under there. I don't know what this radius is, and I had no way of drawing it accurately. I just had to eyeball it. But in N scale, this represents a pretty large curve, and it's hidden. Trains will certainly track very well around it, even if it's not quite a true circular curve. The current end of track is right here, where it's easily accessible, and at the other end, we ended it here just before the curve starts, so that the joint can be on straight track. It's a lot more reliable that way. Now I can reinstall this top level of the benchwork and get the rest of the paper track plan glued down. So I will get that done and I'll check in with you again later. Well, I have now got all the paper track plans glued down. If we walk around the layout, we can see that everything is in place. I've also added the risers for this mainline grade down the back. Of course, once again, I can't join it up where it goes through the wall because of the height discrepancy. I've also had to add some bench work in here because there's a piece missing. Ultimately, it's going to get about a 2 foot radius curve, but for the time being I'm just putting enough in to be able to finish the track bed and get the track laid. I think I'm now just about ready to get the road bed out again and put a load more of that down. So I'm going to turn the camera off and get back to work. Well, Wednesday is drawing to an end, and if we pan around the layout, you can see that I have got all the road bed installed on the entire layout, except for the intermodal yard where I'm told not to put any. He wants that directly at grade level. I've also put out all the turnouts because I knew we were a few short, and we are short of 7 turnouts. Originally I had been asked if I could get all the track laid this week, and the answer would have been yes if we'd had enough turnouts, because 2 days is plenty of time to get all the remaining track laid. But we are short of turnouts, and I very much doubt we'll get them in time. Anyway, today is my birthday. I am 55 years old today, and my wife wants to take me out to the outback. So I am going to leave early, and I'll check in with you again tomorrow. Well, I've just got in on Thursday morning, and I was all ready to lay track on this road bed, but unfortunately I goofed up. This whole area along the back wall was supposed to be raised up 1 3/4 inches. So I'm going to have to tear all this roadbed off and redo it. It's a little bit annoying because I hate to have to redo stuff. I like to get it right first time. There is a slight problem here in that there's supposed to be a grade crossing here, and that is going to have to be done away with because the grade needs to start all the way around there by that turnout, which means at this point there's going to be a difference of elevation because only the front 2 tracks are rising up. So that road is just going to have to either disappear or be converted to an underbridge. But I spoke to the boss last night and he doesn't care about the road. He just told me to raise this road bed. So I'm going to have to go out in the shed and see if I can find a piece of 1.5 inch foam to raise this up. Well, I have raised up this track at the back, or the road bed for it anyway. See that extra layer of foam all the way along, and the new grade around this curve. Of course you won't be able to put the road crossing in there anymore because the tracks are at different elevations. So the road can now come up from here where the level is, around where the drill is, and then cross the tracks here and then head out that way. It'll still work, you can still connect the two towns together. Anyway, most of the day has been spent track laying. I started in the back of the Y and I went all the way down the branch line, all the way around, coming out here, and completed the harbour terminal. And then I've also done the main line from this corner all the way around, adding in all the industrial spurs as I get to them, and this triple track curve ending in that back corner. I should be able to finish the track tomorrow, except that I don't have enough turnouts. Anyway, that's all for now. I'm going to head home and I will check in with you again tomorrow. Well, unfortunately I wasn't able to finish the track laying on Friday. I had a family medical emergency I had to take care of. Anyway, it's now Monday morning and hopefully I should be able to get all the rest of the track laid today. All the track has been laid, and although you can't see it from the video, all the feeders have been installed. I say all of them. Well, there are 4 feeders that are missing in the reversing sections because I don't have the right colour wire available. I don't know what the boss would like me to do to improvise, but he's not here to ask. So rather than do something wrong, I will just leave those few feeders out for now. I've done a little bit of a clean up, as you can probably tell. I haven't gone around and vacuumed the layout, but I have at least picked up all the tools. So in N scale, this is quite a large layout. Just walking all the way around. There's still a little bit of track that I haven't been able to install permanently in the intermodal yard because there are a few turnouts still missing. I had hoped that they would arrive by today. That's the main reason why I stopped track laying and got on with the feeders, hopefully giving them an extra day to arrive. Well, I'm going to end this video here because I am off to Atlanta to service one of my own customers, so I'm not going to be back in the shop for another week and a half. Hope you enjoyed watching this N-scale layout progress, and I'll check in with you again next time. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. All the track has been laid, and although you can't see it from the video, I've installed all the feeders that I can. There are two of the reversing sections that I don't have the right colour wire for, so those haven't been done. I just tripped over it. So